This NFT project is new and it's very exciting for us. We would like to be part of this future. We can continue with collecting art, we can make a conservation and restoration project, we can address new audiences, especially the NFT community, to publish the collection, to bring it to a broader audience. They can learn about Egon Schiele or the other artists, and they can see which fantastic artist he was.
Egon Schiele was one of the most important painters of his time. Those works take you, I think they take you because they're never giving you easy answers. They're more posing questions. It touches you maybe deeper. He was the least conventional painter we can imagine. It's a famous saying of his that he said, "There is no modern art that exists. Art is eternal."
The Leopold Museum was founded in 1994 and it goes to the public, open to the public in 2001. And since that time we had about 7 million visitors from all over the world. The collector who created all of this is Rudolf Leopold. He died in 2010. And he also collected masterpieces by Gustav Klimt, by Oskar Kokoschka, by Richard Gerstl, and others. The very special aspect of this museum is that the idea of the Gesamtkunstwerk you can only find in this museum. Means he collected not only paintings and works on paper, but also we present furniture, ceramics, glass in the Art Nouveau style. Egon Schiele is definitely the most important artist of our collection. There's more than 40 paintings and about 190 works on paper by Egon Schiele, which is the world's largest collection of Schiele. We decided to launch an NFT series with our Schiele masterpieces because we believe that there is a huge potential, especially in the times since the pandemic starts worldwide. We lost a lot of people coming from all over the world. Normally, we have at about 500,000 people a year in the museum, and this was reduced in the last 2 years down to, let's say, 120,000. Egon Schiele, if you see his pictures, they were really radical in a way for that time. And I think we could learn about this. We could be radical as well in our strategies to be successful. We fostered our engagement in digitalization very intensively. Means we are doing lots of social media projects. We are working on the online collection. We are producing videos to come to the people because they cannot come to Europe at the moment. We had a strong number of visitors coming from Asia, from South Korea, from Japan, from China. This is a possibility to address them, to give them information about our work, presenting them our cultural heritage. We believe that this will be very fruitful in the near future, and we would like to be part of this future to realize all the core missions of a museum. So like for instance to collecting art, but the daily business of a museum is also to make restorations, make conservation of the works. We are working on different projects, for instance for children and young people. That means education is an important aspect in our work. This NFT project is very exciting, very interesting for us, but it's not only about making money. I think it's more also the aspect to publish the collection, to bring it to a broader audience. On the first thought, it doesn't suit to our philosophy because museum people always are keen presenting the original. So it's an experience, and we don't know exactly what's coming out on the end of this path. But if you make no experience, there is no development in a way.
Egon Schiele is one of the most important Austrian painters. Can you tell me more about who he was?
Egon Schiele was one of the most important painters of his time. His media were painting and drawing, and he's most renowned for his drawings above all. He was born in 1890 and died very soon at the age of 28, caused by the Spanish flu, which was then pandemic. So he had a very short life, but he was very fertile in his life. He produced almost 3,000 drawings and almost 300 paintings. So we have quite a body of work. He was not considered that important at his time, so he was not the most successful artist.
And Egon Schiele was quite provocative, right, for the period he was living in.
What we consider nowadays to be provocative was, of course, something we could find in his presentations of the body, which was at the very beginning of his becoming an artist and of showing what type of art he did. He was the least conventional painter we can imagine. He always tried to push his art and sort of art in general to a point where you can't say, oh, this is modern and this is not modern. He always, and it's a famous saying of his that he said, there is no modern art that exists. Art is eternal.
For sure, I mean, what he's done feels eternal. He has been influencing a lot of painters that followed him and also contemporary artists today. And especially in terms of the treatment of the body. And actually the fact that he produced almost 200 self-portraits of himself, what was going on in his life as an artist, but also as a human being for the need of so much self-introspection.
So there is a time when these self-portraits really dominate his work. I'm talking about the year when he sort of starts to become a publicly presenting artist. It's sort of like he's going through all possible moods when we look at his self-portraits above all, and he did more than 200 self-portraits, which was really a big focus in his work. He's experiencing with the mirror, so he's sort of trying to splitting up the self in a multiple area of selves, which is no more the one stable one, but something which is in a fluid sort of form or a fluid way of transformation, of metamorphosis. Those works take you because they're never giving you easy answers. They're more posing questions, and you feel that these questions they are posing, they are even relevant today. It touches you maybe deeper, also because of its openness, open to a dialogue, open to a area of questions.
The Leopold Museum has one of the biggest collection of Egon Schiele. So I wonder if it was not too difficult for you to choose the selection of works that we will have in our NFT exhibition.
So it's really sort of also a collection which gives a good overview on the work of Egon Schiele, which spans over, I would say 10 years, where he worked as an artist. And what we did, of course, was not so easy, but we selected works which sort of give an information also about the person behind. And of course, for the sort of the major works, they are also among the major works in our collection. They are very specific importance because they come from the nowadays considered to be his most important phase in his career.
Let's speak about the three paintings that we are going to have in our NFT exhibition. Can you first tell me more about Dead Mother?
Dead Mother is a painting Egon Schiele did in 1910, and he did it on one day, on Christmas Day of the year 1910, and a month later he considered it to be one of his best paintings. It shows us a dead mother with the child being in the glowing center of the very small-scale work. This glowing center is in orange and yellow tones, where the head of this unborn baby emerges, and the mother, very cold colors, almost dry, her skin. So it's really a strong contrast between the mother and the child in terms of color, in terms of sort of liveliness. He returned to this theme several times in the following years, and he never gives us something which we would call a warm and conventional relationship between a mother and a child.
In our NFT exhibition, we will have two specific paintings that are extremely rare. One is a self-portrait by Schiele, one is a portrait of one of his muses, and they are dialoguing with each other. Can you tell me more about the story between those two paintings?
So the two paintings were done at the same time, most probably in summer or the second half of 1912. On the one hand, it's a self-portrait with the Chinese lantern plant, and the other one is the portrait of Verena. Verena was not only his muse, and I think she is too often reduced to be named or to be called his muse. She was really his partner. She was involved in his artistic endeavor, in his artistic business. The portrait is so special because he did not do that many portraits. Specifically, he never did portraits which are so sort of intimate. What's specific also about the two paintings is that they were conceived as counterparts to each other. So that it's sort of a unit which belongs together. The effect is striking. It's like a sequence he's generating. It's like a film strip. It's a pair, it's something which has to do with the other. The one is linked to the next, and this is something he never did afterwards.
In the two paintings, we really see the two characters looking at each other and loving each other. I mean, the emotions are really strong in those two paintings. Was it Schiele's intention to have some form of romanticism?
What is clear is that he was, at the time when he did the painting, they had a very strong relationship. She was the one who supported him in a time which was very difficult for him. He sort of linked them through corresponding emotions. On the one side you have Egon Schiele. He's sort of looking to us with a head slightly bent backwards, with a gaze sort of from above to us. It's a sort of a combination between fragility and self-consciousness. For me, it has sort of a almost protective gesture towards his partner, who's showing up in the other portrait, which is sort of giving with a head slightly leant down, looking upwards, almost shy, very timid. That's also this corresponding, or this not only corresponding but also complementing emotions are something which link the two portraits even more together.